You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. Hey guys, welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 133. We're recording this on Tuesday, September 19th. You'll be hearing this on Friday, September 22nd.
That's right. And we got a lot to get to today. But first of all, let's just address the elephant in the room. Let's address the elephant in different rooms, which
let's dress the elephant up in different rooms.
Let's get the elephant, put him in different rooms.
We're gonna grab the elephant. We're gonna put him in a different room.
We're gonna dress him up. We're gonna put him in different rooms. And that is the fact that Gavin and I are separated. We've officially separated because
hanging my head in shame, shaking my head.
I'm not sick. Maybe I sound like it. I am congested. I have some sort of allergy thing going on. So I might start watering and my nose might start getting my notch.
You got a hanky?
I got a hickey.
Oh.
Can I borrow your hickey?
No, hanky.
And Gavin is not sick. So what the hell's going on?
Ever.
Right. What the hell's going on here? Well, my older brother, not to out him, but my older brother who lives here at home as well. He's on the top floor, though. I got the bottom floor.
He's in the penthouse.
Does have COVID. No one else in my family has tested positive for it, including myself. I don't feel like I have it.
15 tests later.
I have tested negative as per usual. I am healthy as a horse. I've never been more healthy. I've never tested positive for it. I literally have not. I don't think I'll ever get it, and I'm going to keep it that way. But obviously out of precaution, because we do live in the same home, and Gavin is what we would call in the professional industry a COVID magnet. He has gotten it more times than really anybody else has. I do not want him here to get it. I don't think he wants to be here to get it. We are going to be together tomorrow, but it's going to be outdoors, and it's a couple days after, so I think I would have gotten it by this point, if not tomorrow. So pushing it off at least a little, but playing it safe, doing it separate this week. No biggie. We'll be back in the same room next week. We still have so much good shit to talk about. Let's just talk about what we're going to be talking about. I played my first disc golf tournament over this past weekend, and I can't wait to just talk about it for like an hour at least.
Please.
There's not much to talk about, but I do want to talk about it because it is fun and kind of, I think it's interesting. As someone who's not been a sportsman.
Well, now you're an amateur PDGA
I am.
guy.
I'm going to have a ranking on October 6th when the next update is. I'll have an official ranking.
Wow.
And it's not going to be good, folks. Gavin has an interesting work story that I would like to hear about working the graveyard, the red eye shift.
Wow.
We have
I don't have my sounds. I'm just going to do it by my mouth.
By my mouth. We have a guess the baby name game. I guess that's what you would call it. Is that the official title of it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Guess the baby name.
Guess the baby name. We'll talk about that more later. Touch on the Mexican aliens, not the ones you're thinking of. We're talking about the ones from space. But they did come to Mexico. Next door drama. And that's it. That's really it. But okay, we do got to get a little bit serious here for a second, because something kind of sad happened yesterday. I think it was, and it's kind of too much for me to talk about. So, Gavin, I'll just kind of let you take it away.
Yeah. So, We lost a jet. We lost a jet this week. It came from the official Joint Base Charleston. They tweeted, "We're working with
Jesus Christ.
Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort, Freidertown East, home of Marine Aircraft Group 31, to locate an F-35 that was involved in a mishap this afternoon. The pilot ejected safely, but if you have any information that may help our recovery teams locate the F-35, please call the Base Defense Operations Center."
God, I just wish I was anywhere near Charleston so I could help them look for it.
I know. And they put it on autopilot so they don't know where it is.
I mean, it's an F-35. Like, it's so young.
All my money.
It's so young. And it's just like you think about, like, I can't even think about missing an F-35. It's hard for me. It gets me choked up to think about it. So, Gavin, with your permission, of course, because it's also your show, would you mind if we did a little moment of silence for the missing F-35? Okay.
Here they come, screaming across the sky. It's lots and lots of jets and planes. The greatest collection of aviation DVDs we've ever offered. And through this special TV offer, you can get 2 DVDs for the price of 1. You'll get to see big planes, little planes, soaring stunt and passenger planes, even planes that fly real low, old planes, new planes, fast planes, slow planes, smoking planes, even planes at supersonic speeds, plus much, much more when you order lots and lots of jets and planes. Each DVD is jam-packed with lots of high-flying, close-up action. This special TV offer is not available in stores. Remember, you can get 2 DVDs, over 2 hours of non-stop aviation action for the price of 1. It's lots and lots of jets and planes.
You can order now and receive a free bonus CD of Jet Plane songs. You must be 18 years old or to call 888-300-3455. Parents, call 888-300-3455. Satisfaction guaranteed. That's 888-300-3455 for lots of jets and planes.
Thanks for letting me do that, Gavin.
No problem.
It really meant a lot.
Actually, update. Looks like they found a debris field in Williamsburg County. They were discovered 2 hours northeast of JB Charleston, Joint Base Charleston.
Oh, that was earlier today. They actually, it looks like they found debris from it.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, so it's been found.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
All right. Moving on.
All right.
So let's just.
We got to get the elephant out of the room, folks.
We got to get another elephant out of. Oop,
we got to get the other one out of here.
We got to get a whole other elephant out of here. I'm not gonna dwell on it too long. Okay. But I do want to talk about it. So, in case you didn't know, it's so loud. I am a official PDJ amateur. Okay. And I played my first sanctioned tournament. It was an A tier. Now, what is an A tier, Gavin? I'm glad you asked. An A tier is a 3-day tournament event. A B tier is 2 days. C tier is 1 day.
Is it like an elimination tournament?
No, it's like your standard tournament. So day 1, you're kind of just split into groups. If we're all in foursomes, all your groups are foursomes. And I know that gets
you got me involved.
I know that gets your boys going.
My jimmies are wrestled.
You're kind of randomized, and then from there, what happens is the next day, after your score, you're put into groups based on your score. So like top 4 are in a group, and then from there it goes all the way down to the bottom of foursomes. And then the worst group tees off first, and then the best group tees off last. The next 2 days.
From that group of 4.
Yes.
Like from those groups of 4. Okay.
Right. So you're not in the same group every single day. You get mixed up depending on how well you did or how bad you did. So this is my first.
And in your case, it was going to be the greatest.
It was going to be the greatest. I've been playing disc golf since last July when my brother got into it, became obsessed with it. Started loving it. Obviously, as you may or may not know, I'm a video editor for professional disc golfer Ezra Aderhold, and have always kind of loved the idea of wanting to compete in disc golf, but I wanted to wait for the right time. This finally felt the right time, and literally, like, I think I told you a few days before, or I think I told you the week before. No, I think I even told you the week of, that I was like, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I think I might got it together. I think I might have it together, but I don't know. And
Yeah.
I did have it together. I like just in the right moment, things kind of got put together. My backhand form, I won't try and get too much in the weeds of things, but my backhand form finally got locked in. I finally figured that out. The only thing that got thrown off though was my putting was off. But so first day of the tournament, Friday, I got up, I worked out, got ready, and I didn't tee off until 12:10 p.m. that day. So I had a later tee time, which was nice. And the first round was at this course called Unger. Now, a little bit more in the weeds. I was in.
Can you say that in 2023?
I think you can, but you got to be careful.
Okay.
A little bit in the weeds here, but there's 4 amateur groups. There's MA1, MA2, MA3, and MA4. Now, MA is mixed amateur 1 or stuff like that. So when you first start out, you don't have a rating in the PDGA, and now ratings are based off a bunch of different things of how well mostly your score, especially for amateurs,
And also how well you play naked, but that's for another day.
but we'll get into that later. But when you first start out, you don't have a rating. You have to play a tournament to get a PDGA rating, and your rating determines what group you play in. So like MA1, you have to, I think it's a 950 or higher. MA2, I believe, is a 900 or higher. And then MA3 is an 850 or high, or between 850 and 900. And MA4 is 850 down. So that's what I played with. I played with like...
You played an MA4.
Yeah, what would be considered, I guess you would say, the worst, or it's called the novice group. So it's for people who want to compete just to have fun, or to compete to like build up their rating. So that's what I was competing in. And I don't think our courses were really that, like, I think MA3 had easier courses in my opinion. So our courses were like, we're pretty middle of the road. Some of them were really hard. They definitely got harder as each round went on. So the first round was at this place called Unger. It was a very wooded course, yada yada. And before I got there, I got up, I worked out, I did some putting drills, and then I had some time, so I went to a field to just do some field work of just like getting my arms, into the mode of throwing, because I hadn't probably thrown in like 3 or 5 days or whatever. So I went to this park, local park, Gavin, as you would know, McNair Park, if you're a local around here in St. Charles. So it was about like 9 or 10 in the morning that I was doing this. So I get, I do that for like 20 minutes or so, get on my discs. I walk up this hill to get to the parking lot, and I put my bag in my car, and I had my AirPod in, and this guy walks by. And this doesn't even have to do anything with the tournament, but it just like, it starts off my day on the weirdest note. This guy's walking by, and I hear him say something, and then I look up and I'm like, oh, he's talking to me. And I was like, what? And he says something along the lines of like, it was like, there's so many people around here. I just want to get out of here. I just want to leave. Like, there's too many people here. And I was like, oh yeah, man, I get that. And I'm with you on that. He's like, yeah, I just want to move to the Philippines. I just want to get out of here. And then he's like walking to his car, and he gets in his car, and he's still talking. He's like, there's just so many people. You have no room to stretch out, and you can't do anything. And all these people. And then he's like, and the U.S. military sucks, and all that. And he's just like going on and on. And at that point, I just stopped responding to him, because I was like,
so it was a sign of what was to come.
I guess so, but I was like, why is this guy? And the other weird thing is that
he was a prophet. He knew they were going to lose that jet.
He knew that.
He knew that.
He knew why they sucked. But it was weird because, like, it's 10 in the morning on a weekday, And I get up to my car, and he's the only car that's like next to me in this whole.
Yeah, you can really tell how many
huge
people
parking
there
lot.
are at the park.
Especially when because I thought I couldn't tell if he was getting mad at me or if he was trying to like find,
He's
like
trying to find a common
insult
ground
in
with
me
you.
or something.
Yeah.
But I just found it weird that he's parked right next to me. And as soon as he started saying all that and like just saying kind of like nonsense, I was like, this guy's probably not well.
Old man yells at Sky.
Right. Or maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't want to assume anything about him, but it was just like, why?
Interesting.
It was just like, why did that have to happen today? Like, I don't need that on my mind right now. Like, I don't want to be thinking about that. I want my mind clear.
As
of
you're
anything fucking
throwing
weird.
As you're throwing at the competition, you're just thinking,
He's
like, I don't
there.
want to be here. Yeah,
He's
like,
there.
I want to go to the fucking Philippines and
He's just shouting, Philippines! U.S. military
gotta play for the Philippines.
So that was so weird. And I was just like, and he was saying stuff as he was driving away. Like, he was just like talking for talking's sake. And I was just like, okay. So anyways, left there, went to
Maybe
the
he was
course.
studying for something.
Maybe. I don't know what he was studying for. I thought I was on like a hidden camera show or something.
What are you asking, Christian? Where are you?
Where is he? Is Danny Masterson here?
Someone defend this guy.
Someone defend. We need someone to defend him. He's got nothing to be defended about.
4.
So I get to the course and first tournament ever. Haven't met any of these people.
First tournament ever.
First tournament. I walked in and I said, "This is my first time.
Hey guys, this is my first time.
This is my first time ever." So
Hopefully you don't judge me.
So thankfully, we ended up not having a foursome because one of the guys who was in our group actually dropped out the night before. So it was just a threesome. And thankfully, for my first group ever, I got paired with 2 really good people to be paired with. One of them had played a lot of tournaments, and you could tell he was one of those guys that was just like kind of just there to have fun and like play disc golf and kind of compete. Like very relaxed guy. And I wouldn't say he was the greatest player ever, not to like, you know, put anything on him. I'm obviously not calling him out by
Well,
name.
you're the greatest.
Of course. But like it kind of didn't matter because when you're in that mindset of just being relaxed and just you're just out there to have fun, you like can shoot like shit and still do well. And then the other guy who was in our group had never played a PDGA tournament before, but he was good. He was good. He had it and he played a really good round.
He was
What is that motion?
What
is
he was
I can't. I'm having a hard time. But he played really well. So nothing crazy that round, but it was just good. A good group to be paired with and like, you know, very helpful and stuff. And like that made me feel really good. I was like, okay. But like, man, I was so nervous teeing off on the first few. Like it took me like 4 holes in to like finally just like relax and be like, and finally go, oh yeah, I need to like remember these things that I had just like, you know, spent a month trying to remember.
learning and doing and
Right.
practicing.
So, yeah. So long story short, I played like absolute garbage that round, but I was like, that's okay. First round ever, first
round
tournament
ever.
ever. First round ever. I've never played the sport.
I've never
No,
played.
first round in a event in a tournament ever. So
Competition.
yeah, so didn't play well. I ended up being close to the bottom. So there's 43 people in total in our division playing.
And you were 40.
No, so that day I ended up tied for, I ended up tied for, I think 37th or 38th. So not very good. There are some people who did really well. The guy on my card who had never played a tournament before, he ended up getting like tied for 4th.
Oh, wow.
After that round, which was good. And his round was like,
You said, get off of my
I said,
get off of my hind horse.
Get out of here.
Hey, take a look at this guy.
I slapped him on the head and said, get out of here. So that was the first day. Kind of got out of the way, just got that, got it off my back, got it off my shoulders. Was like, I just want to go play tomorrow. I'm just ready for tomorrow. And the next course on Saturday was at this place called Creve Coeur Lakeside, much closer to where I live.
Okay. I know where that is.
So I had played that course like every weekend. The other ones I'd like flip-flopped playing on like Sunday which one I would play. But I'd played this one like every weekend. So I was pretty comfortable with it. And I also, after my round on Friday, I went and played a whole nother round at that course just to be ready for it the next day. So got up and I was like feeling it. I was really feeling it that day. Like if something had locked in my brain, I was just like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play really good. And I more or less did. I was the second card to tee off that day. So it wasn't in the worst group, but the second to worst. And I played with a foursome, and the 3 guys in my group had never played that course. Not even practice.
Okay.
So
you're even more locked in.
Right. Which kind of like helped boost my confidence even more. Cause then like, I kind of like
played this one every day.
I kind of got to be the know-it-all a little bit, which was like, I don't know. I somehow boosted my confidence for whatever reason. But on the second hole is when I found out that they had never played, because I kind of threw a bad tee shot, and then they all threw, and the basket was like way off to the right, like kind of hidden, but there was another basket like further straight ahead that was for a different hole. And at the last person who teed off, I was like, oh shit, they're going for the wrong basket, aren't they? And I was like, you guys know we're going for this basket, right? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh yeah, I probably should have said something. So then on every hole after that, I had to like be like, okay, this is where the basket is. This is where your out of bounds is. Don't do, like, I had to be like that, which again was like kind of a confidence booster. So I ended up shooting really well that round.
And you ended up like disqualifying every other person because you told them, oh, the basket's that way.
I was like, basket's behind us, you guys.
Yeah, you guys missed it.
Where are you throwing? So I ended up shooting good that day. I wouldn't say great. It was definitely not. I could have had a better round. But way better. I shot a 5 over that day and jumped up 4 spots. On the very last hole of that course, hole 18 is no, I wish, is a 400 and something foot par 3, which like we didn't play a 400 something foot par 3 on any other course. That's unreachable for our group. Like that doesn't even make any sense. We're like hitting 250 to like 3 max. Some people are hitting a little bit longer.
So it's done by like length.
Yeah. So this one was like unreachable. Like it was just, you would not get a birdie on that hole. You were going to take a par at best. And everybody on my card bogeyed or double bogeyed it. And I, on my second shot, got within like 35 to 40 feet of the basket. It was an elevated basket too. It was up on like a high rise. And my putts had been off that day. They're a little bit better. It was wind was kind of picking up. I put this putt up, not my normal putting stroke, and it like came back, and I was like, that's not going in. So I pretty much like turned around, and then I just hear it hit in the bucket, and everybody goes, oh! And so I just made this like crazy 40-footer putt that like stalled behind the basket and came back in and saved my par. And I was just like, okay.
Did you get par on that?
I did par it.
Wow.
And everybody else,
wow.
Yeah. And I think,
there you go, buddy.
I heard somebody say that there was only 9 pars on that hole, that round. And I think even the guy in the lead didn't get it. So like that made me feel good. I was like, okay. I was like, that's
you're like, yeah, I practiced that.
I planned on doing that.
You're like, I played at this hole before. I know how to hit this.
I know how to do this. Actually, I had been bogeying it like every practice round. So I was like,
so you're only 1 over.
Yeah. Yeah. So 5 over on the round. Not terrible. So Sunday, at least it's a Sunday now, is when we get to this park called Wilmore. And this is a hard course. This is not an easy course.
Some would say it's hard course.
Some would say it's hard course, park course. Really technical, really long par 3s. Only a couple holes where you can really go for the birdie on. Most of them you're just getting your par and fucking off. And I was playing with 3 other guys who had played quite a bit of tournaments before. So that was a little kind of like, okay, I'm the new guy here. What's going to happen? Or like,
You're like, I'm new here.
Can you guys show me how to play, please? So.
What's your guys' stroke look like?
Can you show me how to stroke? So on the first one to tee off, perfect tee shot. Almost park it for birdie. Almost. I'm within like 15 feet and behind a tree, which kind of sucked. Everybody else is like way
Can you hang off the tree? This is just a general, like, just.
You cannot. You have to be supported on your feet, Gavin. That's
Damn
in the PDJ guidelines.
Oh, right. Sorry. I forgot you read that before you did the competition.
I did, but we'll get to that in a second because maybe I didn't read it close enough. Or maybe I did. I don't know. Everybody else is out of position. They all lay up for their par. I'm the last one to putt because I'm closest. Because if you don't know how it works, whoever's furthest from the basket goes first, and then whoever's closest goes last. And
After you do your tee.
After you do your tee, right. For your fairway shots or for your putts, whatever.
Sure, whatever.
So I'm the last one to putt. I have to like do what's called a straddle putt because there's a tree right in front of me, and it's like the basket's like 5 feet behind it. So I'm like only like 20 feet away, but I have to like straddle my legs out and kind of position my body this way to like do this weird putting motion that I wouldn't normally do. But I thought I could get it. But what you do, and again, not too much in the weeds here, but when you throw your disc, you can choose to play from your disc or you can mark it. You just have to have 1 foot behind your disc. Or what you can do is you take to like do a putt or to do a fairway shot. Or what you can do is you can take what's called a mini marker, which is just a really small, like circular, like almost like a bottle cap looking thing.
Some would say a small Frisbee.
Yeah, more or less. It is. And what you're supposed to do is, or what you can do is you can mark it. You can mark where your disc is by touching it to the front of your disc, and then you can move your disc out of the way so you get like, a couple more inches to like putt or to do a fairway shot. So it's kind of like an advantage.
I see why I like this game so much.
Oh yeah, it's easy. So that's what I wanted to do. Now in my first round, I had thought I had heard that you could mark your disc anywhere around the perimeter of the disc. Like you could put your mark on the side, you could put your mark behind, you could mark in front, wherever as long as it was touching the disc.
And that's how you've played the game. And up until then.
Kinda, because that's what I thought.
You were bending the rules.
That's what I thought I had heard. That's what I thought I had read, was that you just had to be touching it to mark your disc. So, and I even asked the guy on my card the first round, I said, hey, can I mark my disc with my mini marker next to it? Because I was like right up next to a tree. I was like, can I mark it there? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you can take anywhere around the perimeter of your disc. And I was like, sweet. Okay. So I was right on that. Because the reason why I thought that and still maybe think that is because I was watching a pro tournament, and a guy marked his disc right next to it because he was next to a tree. And they were like, oh, it's a veteran move right there. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to be a veteran. I know that now. And I don't know why that was. Now there's more in the weed stuff I'll get to in a second. Because I think that might be because you can get relief off of certain things. And like the PDJ is weird where it's like certain tournaments, they won't allow certain rules at. As a tournament director, you have to be like, hey, can I get this rule at my tournament? And they'll be like, no, or they'll be like, yes. I don't know how it all works, but I just know they give you certain rules for some reason. It's very weird.
I guess that makes a little bit of sense in terms of like, you don't want like a course that is like, you
easy.
Just have like that, yeah, super easy, and then you're like making all these rules for it, and they're like, okay, what is going on here?
Right, exactly.
Standard. Gotta make it standard.
And so that's what I thought I had heard, right? And so the other thing you need to know is, or the other thing you should know, need to know, you don't need to fucking know it, who cares? The other thing to know is that, especially in amateur tournaments, it gets different in the pros, but most tournaments, your group of 4 are the ones that decide the rules. You guys not like make up the rules, but like you guys are the rule callers. If you see someone doing something wrong, you call them on it, and the whole group the majority of the group has to be in agreement on it to make a call on it, to give someone either a stroke, penalty, or whatever the case may be. And then if somebody's like, if like the majority doesn't agree, then you call the tournament director, hey, we have an issue. Can you come to this hole and help us with this ruling? So that's how that works. So what I did, back to hole 1, final round, I marked my disc next to it to get further to the left of this tree to get my putt. mark my disc. Everybody's there watching me. Mark it. Move my disc to the side. Get my putters out. Get warmed up. Put the putt up. Doesn't go in. Chains out left side. Sucked because it would have been great to start out with a birdie. Whatever. I go. We tap out. I'm walking up. There's two guys in front of me walking up, and this guy who I think had the same score as me at the time walked up next to me. He's like, "Hey man, I just wanted to let you know that you can't mark your disc like that. You have to mark it in front. You can't mark it like next to it. You have to mark it in front of it." And the way he said it, it was just kind of like a little condescending and kind of weird. And I was like, I think you can mark it. I had heard that you can mark it anywhere on the perimeter of your disc, because I even asked someone the first round if I could mark next to it.
It is a circle.
Right.
There is no front.
Exactly. But I think the rule is it's whatever's closest facing the basket.
Yeah.
I think that's the rule. But I said that to him, and I said, like, listen, this guy told me that I could do that. I thought I heard a rule where you could, yada, yada. And then he goes, listen, man, I've been playing for 14 years now. That's the way it's always been. So I'm just letting you know that. And I was just kind of like, so you've been playing longer, which means you know everything. I guess I forgot about that. I didn't say that, but I was just kind of like, I was like, okay. So they were first. Or was I first? Yeah, I guess I was first to tee off. So I tee off, and then I immediately go to my phone and I open up the PDGA rulebook, because I was like, I'm going to fucking call this guy on it. And the only thing I could find really quickly was that you had to mark your disc. If you're marking your disc, you had to mark it in front of it. So I looked at that and I went up to him and I was like, hey man, sorry.
Appreciate the heads up.
Oh yeah. I was like, appreciate the heads up. I didn't mean to get anything about it with you. He's like, oh no. He's like, it's okay. We ended up clearing it up. It ended up being fine, but it was just like, it just kind of made me mad, because it was like, I don't know. It just felt like it could have been dealt with in a different way, or a better way.
They didn't penalize you for it, did they?
No.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't even tell the other, like, he wasn't even because what you would do is you would give me a warning first with the majority of the group. But he was just saying it off to the side to me, like, hey, I'm not trying to call you out in front of everybody, but this letting you know.
Yeah.
So he did it in a very nice way, but like, of course that like just threw my mental game off completely. I already had woke up that morning, like not really feeling it that day as much. So I was kind of already off, and then he said that, and then I was just like, it completely threw me off, which sucked, because I was like, fuck, like I need to be more mentally strong about shit like that. And like, because I'm not a confrontational person, I'm also not a very competitive person, so like any little confrontation like throws me off completely. And like,
who let this happen?
Yeah, and even still to this day, I'm still thinking about it, and I'm like, why do I care? Why am I still thinking about this stupid fucking thing that does not matter?
Was he just a stupid looking guy? Did he look like he deserved a little face punchings?
No, but he was a very by the rules guy, which is fine. I mean, you need to be following the rules, of course. But like, he was very just much like
we got rule breakaway.
Right. Like if someone asked a question about something, he would answer first. Like he was kind of a know-it-all.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
And like he wasn't
like how you were at the other hole. Or at the other part.
Yeah, I wasn't really being a know-it-all. I guess I was kind of being that guy. I was trying not to be. But yeah, it was just kind of like, I don't know. He ended up playing best out of all of us, even though none of us are playing good. But I mean, I fell apart, dude. I played so bad. I played horrible. I shot a 21 over par, which that's averaging like a bogey, like plus 1.1 per hole. So that's averaging like a bogey or more on every single hole, on all 18.
Wow.
I did not play good. I ended up just dropping back down to where I started at the first day. So I finished off the tournament in 37th. Not a good showing at all. It was kind of upsetting, because I was like, I knew what I could do at that course, and I just didn't play well. It was windy. It was just, I was off my game. Did not play good, but it made me realize how much I love playing in those tournaments. And like, it's like weird, because I have like post-tournament blues in a way, where I'm like,
you're like, man, I want another one.
Yeah, like I'm like, fuck, I'm like, I feel like I have nothing to do. Like, even though I do, I have so much to do and like to focus on, but it's like, that's all I can think about, and like bettering that, and it's just like got me excited to play another one and you know, work on things that I need to in the meantime, because there's definitely a lot missing that I definitely need to work on. But anyways, I know that went on longer than I wanted it to, but it was very fun. I want to play more, and I love disc golf. And shout out to what ended up making me feel better that day is that there's this guy on the pro tour named Matt Oram, and he's been playing disc golf professionally, I think since 1999 when he went pro. Still to this day, he's only 36 or something. So he was playing when he was really young.
He went pro whenever he was like.
It might have been after that. He went pro like early 2000s, I think. Because I think he played he cashed in his
20s.
first pro event in 2002. Is what I heard.
Oh wow, okay.
Been playing for a long time. He's been at the best of his game for like the past few years. Like he's still playing super good, but he's never won a pro tour event. He's never won like a big pro tour event. And on Sunday he won his first ever, and it was like a huge deal. And he's like, everybody loves him, so it was like a big deal. Dude, I cried.
Was this at your tournament?
No. This was at like this was on the pro tour that like Ezra plays on and stuff.
Okay.
But he had never won.
Cried.
I cried. I legitimately cried. I've never cried about a sports thing in my entire life. And watching that happen, like, it made me cry. And I was just like, I think I'm just an emotional mess today with how I played and shit like that. But it was like that made me not give a shit about anything, because I was just like,
yeah.
It was kind of inspiring too, because it was like, oh, you know, don't sweat these like stupid fucking
exactly.
Your first tournament ever.
You can definitely just work your way back up.
Right, exactly. Anyways, though, I went on way too long with that. Now, Gavin, I want to hear about your weekend a little bit, because you were doing some things really late at night, weren't you?
Yeah, I guess I was.
Well, what did you do?
So Friday, I woke up from, I think I took like a 6-hour nap, I think, because I had like class at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. that day, and it went till noon, and I was just pooped. So I was just like, I'm coming home and fucking napping. I was like, I don't care.
Dude, hell yeah.
I don't even fucking care. And so I woke up from my nap to a text that was like, hey, we're looking for night help tonight if anyone can help. And I was like, at the pharmacy. And I was like, I was sitting there with like the message open probably for a good like 5 or 6 minutes. I was like,
I do that a lot.
I was like, They were offering what I thought at the time. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I feel like a total dipshit, because why would they ever do this? They were offering $150 an hour. So I was like, oh, I'll just work
what the fuck?
I woke up from a nap, so I was like, I'm tired. And I was like, I was in a daze. So I was like, okay, I'll work 9 to 1, if that's okay. At 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Right.
And I texted them that, and they said, and then someone else texted me from like the main office. It was like a manager. It was like a sub manager, and then they went back to the main managers, and then they texted me, and they're like, hey, hey man, like night shifts are usually like 10 hours. Do you think you can work like any more, like maybe a couple more? Because like you'll get the bonus after like 4 hours, which I think was like $150 for the whole shift. Nice. Which is still nice. It was like doubling my pay. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll work that. And then I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm like, let's just do 9 to 5, because I was gonna do like 9 to 3, and I was like, I do not want to be driving around at 3 a.m.
Right.
What the fuck does 2 hours make at fucking 3 in the morning?
Right.
So I was like, okay, fine, 9 to 5, if that's okay. And they're like, perfect, thank you so much. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I'll see you at 9. So I get there. We got a couple new machines, so people were trying to figure those out. I've worked night shift before, but I've never worked outside the IV room in the night shift. So I'm usually protected by my sterile fields,
right?
By my hoods.
Yeah, protected in your hood.
Yeah, protected in my hood.
Ice Spice.
Literally.
You were listening to Ice Spice in my hood.
Yep. I love Ice Spice. Noted Ice Spice. listener.
Yeah.
So everybody from evening shift leaves around 10:30, and I'm like, all right, I'm not seeing another person from night shift. I'm like, there is.
Oh, so it's just you. There's
Someone already called in.
Else.
There's 4 people usually on a night shift, or it's supposed to be 5, I think, but we're managing with 4. And I look at the board, and someone called in, and then I knew I did see one of the other ones, but I'm like, this third person isn't here. So I'm like, okay, well, all right, fine. I'll just work the whole outside pharmacy by myself, and I guess I can go in the IV room if we find someone else. So then the night shift person comes down, and I'm like, so is that other person being there? And they're like, nah, he's gone. They're like, didn't call in. His name wasn't on the board or anything. So I was like, okay, all right, yeah. So it's just me and you tonight? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. We'll be great. So I sat and did a couple hours of homework for the first couple hours, and then midnight is whenever they drop, like the they call it the cart fill. Every hospital has a cart fill, where it's during like the most dead time of the night. It's to fill the morning meds for the morning patient, or for the patient, for the patients in the morning.
So there's really not much to do at night, and you're just kind of there and just in case.
You're there. You're there as a body.
Yeah.
They just want a body. They don't really care what you're doing, as long as you're there, for the most part. And so I was like, all right, sure, let's figure out what to do. So it's like this. The way our pharmacy is divided right now is we have stuff that we have to manually pick and go grab in alphabetical order, and by like dosage form. And then we have a machine that automatically basically picks it for us, but we just have to scan it.
Okay.
That's it. So it was broken up into those 2 machines, and then plus there's a conveyor belt that we run with a big robot that automatically picks individual pills in a prepackage.
That's
so anyway,
cool.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot more menial than it is cool.
Sure.
But I had to get explained the process, and I thought I messed up the conveyor belt. They put me on conveyor belt work, which I don't know what that's officially called, but conveyor belt, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like the bin fill, because it's like you're filling bins. The bin fill.
The fatting bin.
And the fatting bins. Chunky cunt.
Chunky cunt.
So anyway, so I'm standing there. I get in a flow of working, and understand the process a little bit more, and I'm standing there, and I'm standing there, and I'm standing there, and I'm standing there, I'm doing it. 2.5 hours go by, and damn. I'm like looking at the clock, and I'm like, holy shit, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like in and out of like sanity. It felt like I had a huge crash. Actually, I forgot to mention, on my way in, I got 2 taquitos and a 32-ounce frozen cappuccino from QT, and I was like, fuck it, let's go. I got stuck in traffic on the way to for the hot air balloon lighting thing. That was happening this weekend, and there was traffic even on the way to and from. There was so much traffic. I don't know what, they had closed like 2 exits, so everybody was getting off at the same exit. It was terrible. So anyway, I had a huge caffeine crash around like 2:30 in the morning, and usually that's pretty typical. I should have expected that, but like I did not think about that. And right. I was standing there, and I'm like, holy shit, this time is going so slow. And it felt like I was seeing the same names coming out, and I was like, I swear to God, I just had this. All right, whatever.
You're like Jack in The Shining.
Yeah, no, literally, it was nuts. And oh God. So then like right near middle end, pharmacist comes up, and she's like, hey Gavin, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? And then the conveyor's still running, so it's piling up all these meds. Yeah. No, literally, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
All these things are these things are piling up, and she's talking to me. She's like, yeah, you might just want to stay inside the pharmacy tonight, or stay inside the pharmacy for a few hours. There's a woman outside, and I don't know if she's like homeless or like something's wrong with her, but she's wandering the halls down here. So just letting you know. I'm like, okay.
So she was just telling you not to leave.
Yeah,
where you were.
She's like, just keep working, basically. And I'm like, okay. I did not see this person. I didn't interact with her.
Damn. I was hoping you would have been like, okay, and then you walk outside.
Yeah,
looking for the person.
Where is she? No way.
No way.
So Yeah, that was my night shift. And then like 5 a.m. rolled around, and like the other person took a lunch, and she's like, we take an hour on lunch on night shifts. And I was like, okay. And maybe I'm incriminating her there, but it is a 10-hour shift for 7 days. So
You didn't say who it was. It doesn't matter.
no. So anyway, and
I just wanted to say that I can't imagine being in a because what time did that person come in and say that someone's wandering the halls?
like 2:15.
So you were in your like delirious state. I
Yeah,
couldn't
and I was
imagine
like-
having someone say that, because I would have been like, am I fucking awake right now? Like, what is going
No,
on?
literally, that's how I felt. I was like, am I like it was, and I didn't have I didn't have like ear pods in. I didn't have anything. It was just the machine sounds.
Oh.
And I'm allowed to, I think, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think my managers probably wouldn't have appreciated me saying this, but like most people listen to at least a little bit of music at some point during their shift.
Sure.
Don't know where that is, but it gets a little boring out there, and it's really loud robot.
No. Can't be boring.
And yeah, it's a little boring sometimes. So anyway, I was thinking I really, really ought to go grab something to like just listen to, just so I like have something that I can grasp on to reality a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I was just like, no, I'm just gonna finish this and then I'll do that. And then I ended up not doing that, and then kind of just picked up the pieces for the last couple hours, and then she took a lunch at 4 a.m. and I took a lunch she took a lunch at 3 a.m. after we were all done. Took it till 4. And then I took a lunch from 4 to 4:30. Grabbed a bag of chocolate-covered pretzels from the cafe, self-serve, and a bag of hot fries. And I didn't eat the hot fries. I still have those. And blue Gatorade. And the blue Gatorade was fucking awesome. I've never had that good of a Gatorade before. I seriously should drink Gatorade a little bit more often.
That's
just
so.
because it was.
Go on. Sorry.
It was so good. It was just really good. It was like, it was
Yeah.
refreshing. It was great. It was a good wake up mechanism, and like it was just like, yeah, this was great. And it wasn't like an energy drink Gatorade. It was just like a rehydration like Gatorade.
Right.
So
I was just gonna say that's so funny. I think it was Thursday night though. I had a real hankering for Andy Cap's cheese fries.
yeah,
And I went and bought a bag of those, and I ate them all.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'll like eat them over the course of like a day. I ate them all in like just like in the span
One
of
sitting.
like 15 minutes.
I'm remembering
so
back to high
fucking
school those chili cheese Cheeto fries.
Oh yeah.
Those
Yeah,
I
forgot about
ate
those.
I ate so many of those. I had those and the blueberry Mountain Dew energy drinks from our school store. I think
Those-
literally daily.
Those Cheetos were never that good. But
They
the
were
Andy
so good
Caps-
to me.
I think the Andy Caps.
I don't know why they were, but that's just because like I don't eat chips, so like it's like,
Sure.
oh, okay, cool.
But Andy Cap's cheese fries are like. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was like,
Those are-
I had
they're
that,
a
these were
treat.
the hot fries, so I was like
Not as big as a
I
fan.
don't. I was like, I don't want to have spicy food right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, and
Those are spicy.
I didn't know this, but the cafe closed. The where they cook the food closes at 3 a.m. And I wish it told me that before she took lunch, but that's okay.
Sure.
But yeah, so then I went home and stayed up till I think about like 6:30 ish. But I was dead dog.
Didn't
tired.
go to bed when you got home.
No, because it's
Why?
like I just got because it's like coming home from work.
You should go to bed.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it was like, oh well, now I got to decompress from work.
I guess so. I would have conked right out. That's crazy.
So that was, yep. And then didn't wake up till like 4 the next day. So
But nothing ever came about of this person wandering.
no. And I was thinking the entire time, like, did someone call security? Does security know about this? And I just kept thinking in circles like that. I was like, does security know about that? Is somebody just walking around the halls? What if someone tugs on the door? What happens if I was just thinking about that while
Yeah.
I'm doing it?
You look down the hallway, it's the two shining twins.
Yeah, and I'm like, more Shining references just because I
Yeah.
stayed up late.
You turn down a hallway, you turn into a room, and there's a man in a bear costume blowing the butler.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Shining?
No.
Oh, god damn it, Gavin. Don't even get that reference. Well, good. I'm glad I can make a reference to a movie you haven't seen and you don't know what I'm talking about. Because that's
No,
a
I don't.
first.
I do know the twins.
You do know the twins, yeah.
But I'm not going to reference The Shining because
You
I
don't
know,
know the-
how much of a
Man in the bear costume blowing the butler.
no.
We gotta watch that movie. It's really, it's up there as one of my favorites.
I sat down. So I remember this. I was going to sit down and watch The Shining one night, in high school before, I think it was like a college U.S. history exam or something like that, and I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch Inglourious Bastards instead. So I just watched Inglourious Bastards, which was still 3.5 hours or whatever, 3 hours of that. But I was like, I was just laying on the couch like with it, and I was just like, yeah, it's like 4 a.m. right now.
Okay. Guess I should go to bed.
Yeah, I guess I should go to bed. But yeah.
We need to. Okay, so we need to watch The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining. Yeah,
sometime between now and Halloween. There's another movie that I was like, that's like a horror type movie that I was thinking about today. That I was like, I want to watch that with you, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know. I'll think of it. But for some reason, I was thinking about that. I don't remember why. But anyways, we'll watch The Shining. I'll rent it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll get it from Redbox. We gotta tie up some loose ends from last week.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned the movie Fast Times from Ridgemont High and talked about that and talked about how it's got weird things that happen in it. It's uncomfortable, and then
we reached out. We reached out to your mom.
I cut that from the episode, but what got cut from the episode was that we attempted to call my mom to ask her if that was a real thing, and she did not want to talk about that at the time.
Declined to comment.
You know, she was tired and she was in bed, and understandably. But,
and I thought my dad was in bed, so my dad texted me. He is a Gen Xer.
Yeah, and I'm also stupid because I still never asked her about it, and I should have before we came on here.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it either.
So we'll tie it up next week. No, we'll drop it after this week.
Yeah, but so anyway, he said you should have had me on to give Gen X perspective of Fast Times, and he said you have to realize the movie wasn't a big hit, but cable TV made it a part of our Gen X zeitgeist. It was based on a book by Cameron Crowe, who went undercover as a student in a California high school. Those things happened while he was there. Yeah. And Cameron Crowe wrote for Rolling Stone magazine as a teenager and wrote and directed singles, Almost Famous, and is married to Nancy Wilson of Heart.
Which, can I also just say, what a weird fucking thing to do, to be an undercover high schooler and write about it? That's weird.
Isn't that literally and I don't know if you'll know this reference, but isn't that canonically what Ralph, isn't that, no, there's a kid in The Simpsons that is like an undercover cop. That's like canonically he like dresses up as a kid in high school and like,
okay.
I don't, hold on,
I think I know what you're talking about. But that was actually a real thing that this person did. Is that not fucking like that in itself is weird?
Oh, Martin Prince, the blonde-haired one with orange shorts.
Okay.
He's a cop.
Okay.
He's a grown adult that looks like a child, and the police are anyway, that's just what I see on Twitter all the time. I just see Simpsons references. But I did end up watching that whole episode because I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but that's crazy that this guy actually did that in real life. And it's really weird.
But also, I feel like weird? It is weird, and it also just kind of adds to it.
Exactly.
It just adds to the lore of weirdness of this movie.
Oh yeah, this girl was fucking 26-year-old. Are you sure you're not talking about yourself, buddy? Like, what are you?
That's what I'm thinking. And then I'm also thinking like, California high schools are I would say bigger state high schools are way different than like a small town America high school. Than like what our high school was.
But how do you know that?
The sheer size of it, there's way more like opportunity for weird shit like that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think weird shit happens at every high school. I mean, I think we could tell stories to people from California.
Yeah, that's true.
About the shit we went through. I mean, I've heard like, you know.
Well, I mean, even like Skinner, whenever he was on, he was talking about. That's
true.
Like whenever Skinner was talking about
prevalent.
But he was also like 90s, right? So like
different times too.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say that there was I listened to a podcast where this guy, when he went to school in California again back in the 90s, I think he graduated in like 2000 or 2001, and he talked about like there being a lot of gangs in his high school growing up in California, and not like the best part of like Los Angeles, a suburb, but he would talk about like, gang violence that would happen and stuff, and I was, but again, different time too.
One of our high school teachers ranted during the BLM stuff about how this is true. This was one of my.
I know this.
She ranted to us about how this was reminding her of the '90s whenever the Crips and Bloods moved into town. No joke.
into St. Charles, Missouri.
Yes.
Was this a history teacher?
No, English teacher.
Oh, an English teacher.
She had curly hair, blonde curly hair. She's old.
Yeah, I didn't
Obviously.
have her. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we spent a multitude of class periods our freshman year talking about that.
Jesus Christ!
It was
Did anybody
like
push back at her at all?
it was yeah. We had one of our friends from our elementary school pushed back on her a little bit too.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was mainly just.
Later.
It was mainly just because it was like, oh, that's weird. But anyway, that's. I mean, still, I remember watching like the Freedom Riders movie or whatever, and that was at California high school too. The Freedom Writers.
Right.
Movie.
Not the Freedom Riders.
Not the Freedom Riders,
No.
like the writers.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, man, we had people fucking in the hallways at our school. and
Okay,
shit.
that's
Listen,
true, yeah.
Stuff.
Listen,
stuff
chat.
was still. Listen, chat. You guys hearing this? Is this real? The
This
plane?
real,
Did they
chat?
find the plane? Chat.
Chat. Did they find that?
Chat. Did they find the F-35? But no, I get what you're saying. Was that all your dad said, or was there more to expand on?
I don't think so. No, he didn't say anything else more about it. I meant to ask him about it, but yeah.
Yeah, because the one question we still have not answered is, were there real makeout and sex spots back during that time? And we need to get that answered. Probably off air at this point, because again, I don't know if we need to span this out any fucking longer. But I'm glad we did get a tie up that loose end, because I didn't know about Fast Times. It was something that I, over the last 10 years or so, started hearing more and more about, and I was like, oh, this is a pinnacle, 80s movie.
Yeah, pinnacle movie.
To watch.
Yeah.
Because you get to see boobs in it, and it turns out that those people are playing much younger people than they should be in the movie, and that's uncomfortable.
It's really cool.
I wouldn't say so. But moving on, Gavin, we'll talk about more next week, but we get to go to our first pro soccer game tomorrow.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That'll be fun. St. Louis City SC.
I don't have any
I don't know what to wear.
I have nothing to wear for
I
that.
think I'm just going to go shirtless. I'm going to paint my body red. I bleed for the blood of my city. I'm excited for that. We'll talk more about that next week, though, since we're both going now. It's supposed to just be me. And then little old Gavin weasels his way in there. Actually, I asked
All the time.
He always does it. Kevin, I think you have a little bit of a game for me. Is that correct?
I do. I saw this video from Vox. Talking about baby names and which ones are the most popular.
Goo goo gaga.
Yeah. So we're gonna play Guess That Baby Name.
Here we go. Here's the theme song for Guess That Baby Name. Welcome back.
Welcome everybody to what? Guess That Baby Name. Get ready to listen to your favorite, strangest, wackiest names on the top 100 baby list according to the Social Security Service of America.
So, Gavin, how is
All right,
this
so
game
Carson,
gonna
I'm
work?
going to give. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to give you a number and a state, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think is that number's name for that state? And if you guess it right, that will be incredible. And if not, everybody gets to live in the joy of knowing that that's a weird name that exists. That's in the top 100 names of the babies in that state.
This is like the
For this year.
This is like the Billboard Top 100.
It is. It's like the Billboard Top 100 for baby names in one state.
Okay. I'm excited for this. I love guessing
Yeah.
baby names. Everybody knows this about me. I love guessing baby names. Somebody's about to have a kid, and I'm like, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Let me go through my list in my head. It's a girl. Okay. It's the year 2023. You're going to name your baby Emily.
Henry.
Emily. What if I said that? You're having a boy. It's the year 2023. You're naming your kid Humphrey. Was I right?
What was that?
No,
Right? Come on.
no, you're way off, actually. All right, dude, let's do this. I'm so ready for
So
this
these are
game.
all just a little hint. Actually, it's 3 male names, 2 female names. Not for each state, but
Different
just I have
years?
5 names.
Different years,
no,
different states.
Only there's only I'll tell you whenever this one is. These are all from this past 2022 year.
Oh, they're all from the same year.
Yeah.
Okay. All from 20.
So these are all also lower on the list. So they're not actually as popular, but they are at least on the gauge here.
They're on the registry.
They're on the registry.
Registry.
All right. So Carson, what do you think is the number 88th highest rated name or like baby name in the state of Nevada?
State of Nevada, 88 from last year.
I'm sorry, 87.
87th. Okay, you're throwing me off a little bit here. Bending
Sorry.
the rules a bit. 87th, Nevada, 2022.
For males.
For males. I'm going to go with... I'm going to do a little bit of a curveball here. I'm going to go with Jose.
You're actually not too far off,
Okay.
but the name is Kingston.
Okay. I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
That's for
that one
boys?
is there were in the year 2022, 87. There were 36 males born given the name Kingston.
36.
36.
Okay. A baby is born
That
every
was
5
tied
minutes.
with the name Christian with an H.
A baby is born every 5 minutes, but there's only 36 in 1 year that were named Kingston, but it's making our list.
But it's making our list.
Of course.
So now we're going to the great state of Alabama. This is
My
for
least favorite
females.
state in the world.
Yeah. This is for females.
Okay.
This
of 'em.
is let's see, number. Hold on. Oh wait, no, that's Alaska.
Okay, Alaska.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm there.
This is number 29 for females. There were 86
Alaska.
females in the year 2022 named this.
In Alaska. What was the number again?
No, in Alabama.
God damn
in
it.
Alabama.
In Alabama. Gotta get my mindset
Number
there.
29.
Number
Number
29.
29.
Girl name
Yes.
in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
First thing that came to my mind was Helen.
You were close. Everleigh, Leigh.
Everleigh was my favorite band in high school.
I bet it's pronounced Everly, but there's
Everly.
there's probably like 70 different ways to spell it because Everly spelled Everly is 50th with 66
What
in
the
the same
fuck?
state,
And it's the same name?
and it's the same name, probably pronounced the same.
I've never met a Everly in my life.
Well, you will.
I've never Everly
you will-
in my life.
There you go. So now we're going back to our great state of Missouri in the year 1960.
Oh, we're skipping years now.
Yeah, No, this is the only one. This is the curveball here. This is a
Shit, it's
curveball.
the wild card.
So 1960 for
Missouri.
males, the 89th most popular name in Missouri, with 108 males named this in 1960.
It's got to be German. Immediately going to Heinrich.
No, it's just Bob.
God damn
Not
it.
Robert, not Rob,
Bob.
not short for. It's just B.O.B.
I know someone who named their kid that like a few years ago. Just Bob.
It's a disappearing art. I mean, there's a whole video about it on YouTube about how there's no
trust
more
me,
Bobs.
I know, because they told me about 100 fucking times that they're like, we wanted our kid to be a different name. I didn't ask. I didn't even ask if you had any kids, and you've told me this 4 times now. Go on. What's the next one?
So the next one, we're traveling to the great state of Tennessee. We're going screaming across the sky.
There's lots of Justin Bieber. What do you got
For
me, Tennessee?
females.
This is
For
2022.
females. This is 2022. Traveling back to the future.
Yep.
I have seen that movie.
Duck.
75 females were named this in the year 2022. Carson, what do you think this name is?
What was the number again?
89.
Tennessee.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Clarissa.
Actually, fairly close to Clara, which is close to the actual name here of Emerson.
For a girl?
For a girl. Emersyn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Emerson.
Emerson.
I only know of Guy Emerson's.
Have you ever heard of an Oakland? Or an Oakley?
No.
Or a
the
Blakely?
sunglass brand?
Or an Emery?
Have you ever heard of Kevlin?
Nope.
Hemery?
So now we're traveling also to another great state. Yeah, way over me. We're traveling to another great state. This is also lower on the list, number 85 for males. This is
What state?
for Georgia.
Georgia. What was the number again? You got a number for me?
I
Alex?
thought it. No, I thought I had it, but I guess maybe it's not Georgia. But whatever.
It's not Georgia. Oh god damn it.
Nah.
Where are we then? Where are we flying to?
We're still in Georgia. I'm trying to find another good name here. Oh, here we go. Number 90.
Number 90.
With 136 males named this in the year 2022.
Wow, 90. Number 90.
In Georgia.
I'm going to go with Keaton.
Close. King.
Kind of close.
Also
Bach?
down there was Weston.
Like King Bach.
Yeah.
Weston.
Like King Bach. Yeah. Just King.
Weston side gun.
Ace was another one I was looking at.
Ace Frehley.
Axel was the one I was looking for,
Axl
but
Rose.
I think that might have been Nevada. Now I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that
Is that all
concludes
the
our
babies'
game of
names?
guess. That's guess all the babies' names. Typically
like
on the top of these names are Noah, Liam, Olivia, and Ava. Tends to be at the top there.
Well, I'm
for
upset
men.
that I didn't get anything this time.
Yeah, I know.
I thought I was close.
Yeah, you were.
Really
you were
thought I
getting there.
had it with Heinrich in the 60s.
Unbelievable.
I thought I could get a German in there, but a little bit later after the Germans. I'll get them next time, though, Gavin. I appreciate you bringing that game. It was very fun. Because you know I love guessing baby names. You know that about me.
Dude, I know you. I know
know
you
that
love
about
it, man.
me.
I know. That's your favorite thing to do.
It's one of my favorite things to do. You know I love that. I mean, let's just get it out of the way because I don't even see. This is what happened. They found aliens.
So get this.
Okay, so get this, chat. They found aliens in Mexico. Again, not the ones you're thinking about. Okay, Donald Trump. We're talking about the ones from outer space, the gray boys. They found them. Well, they found them in Peru, right? They found these mummified aliens, supposedly.
Definitely real.
In Peru that they carbon dated to like 10,000 years ago or 1,000 years old.
I think it was 1,000 years ago.
And they did this press conference. And of course, it was the day after we recorded the episode.
They gave this. They presented this to the Mexican Congress.
Right, to the Mexican cartel.
Congress.
And of course, it was literally this press conference was like hours after we had recorded last episode. So everybody and their dad has already fucking talked about it. There's nothing to really even talk about. It's just like they're claiming this is real. Apparently, I heard somewhere that Reddit had already debunked this to be like
it was
fake
already
thing.
it was already given as evidence like a few years ago, and they just flipped it on its
and they
axis.
proved it was fake.
Yeah, they just flipped the pictures.
Yeah, and it's like it's so funny that they put them in these boxes too.
Yeah, it's like
so
a
funny.
weird casket. It's like a casket box.
And they just look like ET, and it definitely looks like clay.
Yeah, I'm like this just looks like old clay. This looks this just looks like not even fire blown or like kiln.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen
Clay,
Native
this is
American art that looks like that, kind of. You know what I mean?
And they're saying that like I think they did like CT imaging on it, and they're like, oh, see, it's got like bones and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, literally every single living being on this planet has bones in it.
And they
you can just put bones together.
Right, exactly.
You can just put bones together from like a fucking sheep, a goat, dog, a cat, like you
baby.
can find a baby,
An
even
actual
like
baby.
honestly, you can like, yeah, 100%.
Crazy.
It is fake.
Really weird stuff.
Did you see the video I sent of the guy from Funhouse? He's not known as that. His name's Ryan Haley. He's the guy that convinced Memphis that the Bass Pro Pyramid has a slide coming out of it, and that they're putting a slide in. He convinced Memphis of that, and they had people calling in the local news stations about it.
He convinced
story.
the state of the city of Memphis.
That
What
they're
the
putting in a
fuck?
slide,
That's
or
awesome.
that there is a slide.
I didn't know anything about that.
And they had to debunk that. So anyway, so he made a video debunking this alien, and it ended up just making a cock.
Wait, what? Say that again?
He made a video like drawing and trying to debunk it.
Oh, and he drew a
but it
cock.
ended up just turning a cock.
Oh, that's good. I like
Yeah.
that. I don't know if I saw that. I don't know if I did see that. If you sent it to me, you'll just send it to
I
me
feel like I
again.
did, but he might have deleted it too.
I could have ignored it. I don't
Very
think-
easy to do
I
on
don't
the
think I
new
ignored
X.
it. Oh yeah, that's true. I could have ignored it on there. But yeah, I mean, what the fuck? What else is there to say about it? I mean, everybody's made every single joke. They were funny. It's gone. The real thing I want to talk about that we've talked about on the show is I'm circling it with my mouse right now. Is the mysterious
I can't find you.
cable? What do you mean you can't find me?
Oh, you're recording the screen here.
No, I'm not. I'm just circling it on my screen for my own pleasure.
So this mysterious cable, which I think is my favorite album of all
move
time.
it over to a little bit. My Mortal Coil.
Yeah.
There's Gavin's Mortal Coil. And Gavin, what is that? Because we've been calling it the mystery cable for quite some time now.
So I don't know.
But you've pulled on it.
I have pulled on it.
Because I told you, I made you.
It's sturdy.
I made you pull on it because it was a sex thing for me, and I liked it.
Right. So anyway, so I pulled on it, and there's zip ties kind of holding it in this circle.
Yeah. This Mortal Coil. Turn the gain up and we can hear you. Oh, he's already gone. Can't. Ooh. What was that noise?
You see, like,
It's pretty sturdy. He's putting some weight on it.
I'm not putting
my full weight on it. But you're putting some weight on it. For audio listeners, Gavin is hanging onto a cable hanging from his ceiling.
Yeah.
You got to watch the video version for stuff like this. For exclusive
I
content.
I have no idea. I meant to go into the office today, and I'll put a reminder in my office, my phone today.
But there's no
to
like
remind myself.
connectors to it, right? It's just like
No, I think it's just a
heavy
cable,
cable.
that it may have been used as like a support cable. You know, like it's probably supported by a beam or something up there, and it was used to hold up something. Because this building probably wasn't always apartments,
No, probably not.
so it was probably once used to hold up like, or it used to be like a chandelier thing, and there used to be a chandelier
been.
here. I'm thinking like dinner table, like
Hang your dinner
hanging
table.
down, hanging dinner table chandelier thing.
Floating
fucking know.
floating
There's-
dinner table.
There's no electricity coming out of it. There's no like cords or anything. You were cracking yourself up over this.
The floating dinner table.
The floating dinner table.
Oh, honey, we're gonna have to get that floating dinner table.
So
the
yeah,
cable
for the audio listeners, there's a cable that's been flying above my left of my head like all day.
It's very interesting. But he pulled on it. Nothing's coming through.
Yeah.
I'm
So I'm not gonna keep pulling on it though. I'm kind of worried that it's gonna bring down the whole house.
yeah, probably
so.
not. That's probably for the best. But we got.
But that might be so. There, you can't really tell here, but there's a discoloration in the wood, and this used to have
I
like
can't see
it
that.
was like a lofted bed, and so I think that's why it's no longer lofted. And that might have been used to hold the loft. Now that I think about it,
Oh, that's true. That could have been.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess that
So.
could have been if they didn't want you to move it or something.
yeah.
Interesting.
So they just left it up, I guess.
Yeah, because I guess why would you take it down? Why did they take the loft bed out?
Don't know. They never. I was expecting a loft bed whenever I got here, and a
Right.
put-in desk. So
Right. Yeah.
like a stone desk, but
Huh.
the more you know. Yeah.
The more you know. Well, anyways, moving on. Gavin, Next Door Drama segment we do pretty much every week, where we go to the infamous Next Door blog posting website, which is a blog posting website for your neighborhood up to a certain mile radius, where people can post whatever they want. Interesting things going on in the neighborhood, noises that people hear, whether they're actually there or not, who knows. If you want to sell something, you can go on there. Lots of weird stuff, though, so we go on there in our neighborhood and we find an interesting blog post every week. We script out the entry in the comments and we reenact it. We do a dramatic reenactment of it, set to music. It's a lot of fun. This one's pretty short this week. It is titled, You Can't Fix Stupid. I will be playing Trish, who's a citizen cop. Gavin will be playing Chester, who's trying to be helpful. Maybe. We're not really sure. Without saying much else, I'm going to play the Next Door Drama intro song, and we're going to get right into it. This week on Next Door Drama. When I first moved in my house, a friend of mine told me it was illegal to let yard clippings to get in the storm drain. I was surprised to walk my dog and see someone using a blower and blowing their yard clippings into the storm drain.
Just because someone shouldn't do something doesn't mean they won't do it. People have become very self-centered and self-serving, doing what they want regardless of whether it's right or wrong. That's just the world we live in now.
But then they will blame the sewer company and want them to pay damages. Then our rates will go up again.
I have a wife tell me you can't do half the yard at a time.
I'm just gonna have to stop.
Never heard that before because I'm pretty sure.
You've never heard that before? I actually have heard that before.
No, I've never heard that before because I'm pretty sure that's what the yard companies would do in our old neighborhood. They just blow it into the storm drains.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to. I had always heard that. Again, I'm not fucking looking up the rules or anything because
there is a guy on TikTok that unclogs storm drains. So.
Oh, good for him. He needs
Have
to come.
You seen that? It's really satisfying. I can't lie. It's like always in a puddle of this, like a deep puddle, and he always like grabs like a pitchfork and like gets the leaves out of there, and then like it all like it goes away.
Can you send me some really late tonight?
Yes, I can.
Can you please send me some really late this evening?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but I have a wife tell me you can't do half the yard at a time.
I have a wife tell you can't do half the yard at a time.
I don't even know what that guy was trying to say at all.
I think he's trying to make a joke, like try having a wife tell you can only do half the yard at a time.
Hey, try having my wife. Why don't you have?
Because it's like, oh, you want to reduce the yard clippings? Okay, now my wife is bitching at me because I only did half the yard.
Because I can't blow the rest of it down the street.
Because I can't blow the rest of it on the street or something. Because I have to wait for, the yard services to come pick up my clippings.
Because now I can't blow my brains out.
Right. Can't chop my foot off on my lawnmower.
Like I always wanted to.
Something that just one more off topic thing, but I've seen a lot of clips of Deion Sanders in Colorado this weekend. I don't know if that was shoved down anyone else's throat. I'm just kidding. I don't really give a shit. It's actually kind of entertaining. I will eat up Deion Sanders content, but
referring to.
So Deion Sanders is this legend sports guy.
Right.
He played in MLB and NFL at the same time.
Oh.
Had a lot of contractual agreements and like arguments about it. He's very showman. He's a big showman kind of guy. Flashy. Anyway, So anyway, so there's been a lot of interviews and stuff like that on ESPN and SportsCenter about Deion Sanders, and just like, you know, his two of his kids play on the Colorado University football team with him. He coaches a Colorado football university football team. Colorado Football University, Colorado University football,
Colorado University of Football.
And so anyway, two of his sons play there, and one of them's a two-way player, or two of them are two-way players. They both play defense and offense, which is a little bit more common in college football, but it's very rare on NFL football, so it's just interesting to watch. Anyway, every time I see Deion Sanders, I'm reminded he has missing toes. He like recently had an interview where he like had to get some toes amputated off of his foot, and every time I see a picture of him or an interview of him, I'm reminded he is missing several toes.
And why did he have to get them amputated?
Because they were like black and like
Oof.
old. It was, yeah, there was something wrong with him, and so they just cut him off.
Oof. And he's no longer a pro anymore.
No, he's like,
Okay.
I think getting up closer to 60.
For some reason, I thought he was a younger guy. I don't know why. I know I've heard the name. Not a huge sports guy, obviously. Sorry.
Yeah, he's 56.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
too old.
No, but I mean, like he's approaching.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just an off-topic thing that I think about a lot. So if you see any Deion Sanders content, then just know he's missing toes.
I'm gonna have to hit up WikiFeet tonight and do some digging, because I've never seen these feet.
I've never seen him either, but I'm not sure I want
I
to.
don't even know if there are pictures of it. I'm just assuming.
There might
There's
be.
got to be. Even did the doctor take any?
Why do you think I like the NBA so much?
Yeah, dude, I know. You don't have to tell me, man. I've seen KD's feet. Those things are.
Have you seen LeBron's toes?
Could you imagine the coverage those things could get?
Carson.
Yes. Another
segment that we do this week, that we do weekly,
This week.
every week.
College of football, university.
We do a college football breakdown of the week.
Of universities.
Of university football. College university football.
Denver of football. Oh shit, he's asleep.
Actually, every week we do a part on the show. What's it called? Carson?
Where are we? Who is this? Did we
Where
talk
are
about Deion Sanders' toes yet?
What are we talking about? Butter sausage.
Hold on. Why don't we talk about football college of Denver college football universities?
What you listen to is a segment that we do every week where we recommend music to each other and to you, the audience. Carson, what you got for me this week, buddy?
Well, Gavin, unfortunately, I am still in quite the music slump right now, man. There's just nothing.
No.
I'm in one of those moods over the past week or two where I'm just like, I fucking hate music.
I can't do this.
I just don't want to listen to anything. Nothing is tickling my fancy, really. Besides, I was listening to Talking Heads earlier, which was getting me kind of.
Did you want to go see that 824 basically just live
remaster?
Concert?
I do want to see it. And the reason I was listening to it, little insider information for you, Gavin, even though by the time this comes out, everybody will know. Guitarist of Talking Heads, Jerry Harrison, is coming on Office Hours on Thursday.
Wow.
Zooming in, which will be really cool. So that got me into the mood. I was like, I think I want to listen to this. And then I was listening to it and I was like, oh yeah. That's not what I'm recommending this week though.
Oh.
Because it didn't come right. It didn't hit me in time. I already had something picked out, and maybe next week though, because there was a song that I was like, I might need to recommend this. What I am recommending though is a band that I'm actually seeing on Friday, See You Space Cowboy, with their new song Chewing the Scenery. If you don't know See You Space Cowboy, they are a metalcore, what I would consider like screamo revival in a way, hardcore band. Super good, really different compared to everything else that's out there, and that's why I love them. Is just because they keep changing up what they're doing and kind of reinventing it.
Where are they playing
in
Friday?
a way? Red Flag. So
Okay.
I'm seeing their.
I'm headed the other way. I'm
where?
gonna go see Royal Blood.
Oh, okay. Did I know you were seeing that? Oh yeah, no, I did.
I think I mentioned that, but
Just you
I haven't
going?
bought tickets, but I think my dad might go. But
That'll be fun.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, I can't go, so don't ask me.
So I'm not, and I didn't want to.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing them, I guess. But I already have obligations. They're opening for a band or a person, Nothing Nowhere. Not a huge fan. Honestly,
Oh yeah, you know what? I have heard of them. They've played Red Flag before.
Yeah, I got to look this up. He might have even opened for Neck Deep the last time I went there.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
I could be wrong on that. I need to double check that. Not a huge fan of him. He did do something really funny, which I sent to you. It went pretty viral. He did like an emo guitar track over I Think You Should Leave sketch of the zip line when he's crying and he's playing a sad guitar over that. You remember that video? Did you see that?
Yeah. It's like the Midwest emo one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was him doing it. So
Wow.
I was like,
Okay.
So I'll stick around for his set. If I'm not feeling it, I'll head out. But Unity TX is the main opener. Not a huge fan of them. I remember liking them a couple years ago. But then the band I really want to see, I've never seen. They're from the UK. Static Dress. Huge fan of them.
You talked about them a couple.
Yeah.
They had you've talked about them.
Huge fan of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've talked about them before. Are they going to Red Flag too?
Yeah, so they're the
Like
second
a 4
opener.
band set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
They're the second opener, which is crazy because like them playing in the UK, they draw huge crowds. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird. The same thing happens with Neck Deep, kind of. So Static Dress, and then See You Space Cowboy, and then Nothing Nowhere. So really excited just for those openers, to be completely honest. I've been wanting to see Static Dress for a long time. They don't come here very often. When they do, they have never played St. Louis. So this will be a first. I've heard they put on a really, really good show. Cannot wait. But that's what I'm recommending this week, especially because I'm seeing them on Friday. But yeah, Gavin, what are you listening to, my friend?
So on a similar Office Hours note, I did not discover her through Office Hours, but
Of course.
this came through my like Spotify Discover, or like just like playing randomly like songs recommended for you.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going.
I listened to a lot of Van Sire, and I listened to a lot of Floor Cry, and I listened to a lot of Arctic Monkeys, and I listened to a lot of Arctic Monkeys. So anyway, they put together these mixes for these artists,
Right.
and I think this was under either Van Sire or Floor Cry. I think it was under both of them, to be honest with you. But if
Probably.
I'm feeling in a mood, I just put on one of those. And it's also kind of one of the reasons why it's really hard to get rid of Spotify is because I listen to a lot of music. And whenever I was studying this weekend, I listened to a lot of like instrumental jazz, like smooth jazz or just like instrumental jazz music.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing locks me in more like jazz. I love jazz playing in the background. Anyway,
I don't want to get too off topic here, but like, I'm getting fed up with YouTube music. I'm like, don't want to go to Spotify. I hate Spotify for obvious reasons.
yeah.
But dude, their Discover playlists, their like curated playlists are like on a whole nother level. YouTube Discover and like playlists and their playlists suck. They're fucking horrible. They recommend shit you've already listened to. I'm like, I've listened to this. You're recommending me the same shit I don't even like. But like,
And I will say that
whenever I listen to Spotify, they would
Spotify
recommend
does
great shit.
Spotify does play some of the same shit that I've listened to before if it's a Discover thing, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've listened to this band before, but if
Yeah.
it's a new song, it's a song that they know I haven't listened to.
But whenever
For the
I was
most
on Spotify like a couple of years ago, like 2020, dude, I was finding so much shit on their Discover playlist, like
Yeah, it's
every
very
single
easy to do.
time.
Yeah.
But like YouTube just sucks. Their Discover
And
playlist
you can
suck.
you can go into a radio station for the song, and then you can go in the radio station for a song on that playlist, and
Yeah.
just go in a rabbit hole of radio stations, and that's how I find a lot of really like good stuff.
And YouTube has the same thing, but they suck. They're terrible.
Algo, it's the
They're
algorithms.
horrible. Like I'm
Watching
literally
your algorithms getting crushed.
This is why I'm in like such a music stump, because they're giving me garbage.
Yeah,
But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just had
No,
to.
I agree because
Get that out.
they recommended me like all the new like pop music stuff, and I'm like, pretty sure I've told you I like Royal Blood, Spoon,
Right.
Arctic Monkeys. Like I have YouTube Music because I have YouTube Premium,
Yeah.
and it bugs me that I'm like it's almost like they ask me like every time I log in, they're like, do you like pop music?
What do you
Because we
think
have
of
like
this?
we have Doja Cat. And I'm like, okay,
like her?
cool. I'm like, I don't like her, but okay.
Do you like Ice
But anyway.
Spice?
You like Ice Spice? So anyway, this week I'm listening to Way is Blood.
Wise
I think
Blood.
it's how you pronounce it. Wise Blood.
Wise Blood.
Wise Blood.
Wise blood.
Wise
Wise
Blood.
Blood.
Wise Blood. Wise Blood. Whatever you want to call her. And I'm listening to her 2022 release, And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow.
Nice.
Came out the day before my birthday last year.
Congratulations.
I know. But it's a very good album. She's got a lot of really good stuff. I can't lie. It's
need to dig in,
incredible,
man.
It's incredible. She has a great backing orchestra that just like is incredible. She just released a music video like today or a couple days ago of Twin Flame, so you can go watch that music video. Yeah, she's incredible. She's got a great range.
Yep.
And just great range in terms of like tone, but also just like range in terms of genre almost, because she has so many different. She has like the first half of this album is more like Beatlesy, almost directly inspired by Beatles. It has a very Beatles vibe to it. But then the second half is way more her own stuff, and she's definitely trailblazing her way into indie culture. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's her ideal, but that's what she's been appearing on, is a whole bunch of bedroom pop indie stuff. She's got a great production value. It's fantastic to listen to. Definitely check her out.
Yeah, I need to.
That's what I'm listening to.
I've heard a few things of her, obviously in Tim's songs, and then I've heard when she performed live on Office Hours when they did their first live show before I started working for them, and she performed live like goosebumps, like. Not even obviously being there live, but watching it live was like, whoa, holy shit, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, and I bet...
Which is hard to happen with like watching something.
Digital. Yeah.
Digital stuff. So I need to dig into her music because I know I would like it, and I just haven't.
She's appeared on Lana Del Rey tracks. She's appeared on a lot of different artist tracks.
Yeah, no, she's big. She's a big deal.
So definitely check her out. She appears on Chemtrails Over the Country Club, Drug Dealer,
Country Grammar,
the Minions soundtrack.
The Minions soundtrack.
It's true.
Dude, hell
she
yeah.
appears on there.
Good
Minions
money.
Rise of Gru.
Good money from
Minions
that.
Rise of Gru.
Shit, I'd take that.
Trying to think. Oh, Tim Heidecker.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Know a little bit about him.
Yeah. But definitely check her out. She's a bigger artist, but still really good. I will say that I just listened to a song for the first time today. That's on our 2019 album, and that is a really good album. I'm probably gonna recommend that next week. So
can't wait. Anyway, I gotta dig in, man. Maybe I'll dig in tonight. Dig in. Well, outro song might be hitting right now. I know you're not playing it, but I'll put it in post.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 133. Keep watching, keep listening, keep rating, keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep following.
We'll be back in person next week together again. Gavin, keep forgetting to tell you, I have a taste test ready. It's been a while. This one you sent to me a while ago, and it finally came out.
I saw a couple new flavors also that I wanted to try.
Send them to me.
I think
this one's super. It's so stupid. It's so dumb, and I can't wait to try it. I can't wait because it's so stupid. That'll be coming up next week. Also next week, I think we teased it last week, but we skipped it because we were obviously not in person. Gavin's got a little TikTok guessing game for me to play, which I'm very excited about. So
we know how much he loves TikTok and he loves guessing games. If there's it proved this week.
God, I love it. I love guessing baby names. Send me baby names to guess. I'd love to do that. It's one of my favorite things. So, but we'll see you guys next week. Anything else from you, Gashman?
I don't think so.
All right,
Carson.
The vultures are waiting to pick your bones.